EA Sports. It's in the game.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Red colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
just wanna be her. From your mom to your pops to the bees to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? In the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one. between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
On the set. Watch 98. 98's the mic. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. He takes this for 3 to the 29. offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
He's checking. Crash. Shoot.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. On 1st and 10 is Connor. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
You're not ready. Sponge. No.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. 55. Watch the run. Kill. Check.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Connor. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Right here. Kill. Out.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. We'll look now at our starting defense. They enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Set, hut. Put the flag. 51. Double dog. That's the way. Slam. Hut, go.
The first carry now for Benny Snell. That he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, a new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go. 49.
No score after one on EA Sports. Looking to throw on second down. Jeffers, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Check hot route. Hot. Check 43.
To throw on third down. Jeffers, and he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the former Rice Al Boswell puts this one through in his return to Houston. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Second and 13. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return will stop right around the 25. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December. that. But right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They start with a give to Connor. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Right back to Connor here on first. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Check 6 guys. Mike 51.
To throw on second down. Jeffers. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run with Connor. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
I'm coming.
Looking to throw on second down. Jeffers, that is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. He'll look to throw. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. 2nd and 2. Gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Ready. 18 Gator.
Back to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement, so now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, and it's the Bengals who are out in front. Tyler Boyd, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. The Buccaneers looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Andrew Luck, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, turn it up. Check.
Operating from the gun, Jeffers. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, Connor trying to run inside, but nothing there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check forward, check forward. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
From the gun, Jeffers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Dylan Cole. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Go now. 60 or. Hey, let's get in them holes.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. T.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll drop to throw. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
55, right there in the middle, 55. You ain't going nowhere. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. I'm scared.
Throwing on first down. Jeffers going. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So now they operate back from their side of the field here. Second and long.
Check 26, check 26.
Second and 15. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 36. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. Second and 19. They're going to look to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
They'll look to throw here. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's just me and you.
This is Connor. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
On 3rd down, Jeffers. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the... pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
They'll run here with Connor. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check 99. Check 99.
On the run is Connor. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Connor. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, we'll likely put an end to this thing.
Kill, turn up.
Now it's Connor. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Connor, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. They'll look to run with Connor, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Texans down on the scoreboard. 46 seconds to go. A fourth straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively, that's Devin Bush making the play. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on this.
Blitz coming And down he goes. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. So that drive, 4 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh